Okay, in the previous class, we were discussing about how to draw the constant gain circles on the Smith chart. And we were taken a problem. So this is a problem we have taken. Design a high gain amplifier for power gain of 15 dB at the frequency 6 gigahertz. If the selected bipolar transistor has the following S parameters at 6 gigahertz. Okay, this is a problem given here, and S matrix of that transistor at 6 gigahertz is given here. So we saw in the previous class, this is not a unilateral device. S12 is not equal to 0, as we can see here. S12 is not equal to 0. So if even if it is not equal to 0, we can apply unilateral unilateral design equations means what we were discussed in the previous class, like a gs maximum, gl maximum. Those are the approximated equations by assuming a unilateral case. Okay, so gs maximum, if it is a unilateral, that means s12 equal to 0, then you will be having this equation. So these are the equation for unilateral, but in the problem it is given it is not a unilateral. Okay, even though it is not a unilateral one, S12 is not equal to 0, we can apply the design equations of unilateral one if the error introduced by considering this as a unilateral is within this limit. See, in the previous class, we were looking this one. We used to calculate this unilateral figure of merit. This is U is called as unilateral figure of merit. Using this unilateral figure of merit, actually this depends upon the S matrix, S parameters of the device. Whichever the device you are using, active device, that S matrix, S parameters, you can calculate the unilateral figure of merit. Using this unilateral figure of merit, you can calculate the limits like this. Okay, this is called as error limit. Error limit. If the ratio of this GT by GTU maximum is lesser than the whatever you got from the unilateral figure of merit, if it is greater than this value, less than this value, if it is bounded like this, then you can apply unilateral design equations. Okay, so this in this problem, so this is GT. I already told GT is the gain whatever you needed. This is a 15 dB. 15 dB gain we needed, but GTU maximum one we can get from the device is equal to this. This is a 17.11 dB we can get, but we need only 15 dB here. And so we take a ratio of those two, 15 dB divided by this. That ratio should be bounded between these two values. Okay, so as we can observe here, 15 divided by 17 point something, that is lesser than 1.98 dB. So that is within this limit. Okay, so we can apply the unilateral design equations like this. So using this unilateral design equation, now you can proceed to design the amplifier. So in the previous class we saw we chosen this 2 dB here, GS 2 dB, and this G naught we got that is 13.46 dB. GS we are chosen 2 dB, and GL we have taken 0 dB because maximum we can get is only 0.73 dB. So we cannot take 1 dB for this GL maximum. GL, if we even we need a 1 dB for here, we cannot take that 1 dB because maximum itself is a 0.73 dB. So we took it as a 0 dB. Okay, so 0 dB and 2 dB here. So next, what now we needed is GS should be that is a gain from the input side. Input circuit must be 2 dB. Gain from the load side must be equal to 0 dB. Okay, to get this GS and GL, we have to choose the input impedance. What is the input impedance to get that particular values of gain? Because this GS and GL depends upon the input impedance and output impedance, that is ZL and the ZS. So for that we should draw the circles. So and also we were drawn circle in the previous class. Okay, so GS circle we have to draw and GL circle we have to draw. So GS for the it equal to 2 dB, we got a center of the circle and radius of the circle here. Using these equations, input gain circles, GS equal to 2 dB we needed, So for that, if you GS divided by GS maximum, GS means this is what we needed, 2 dB we needed. 2 dB, you should convert that into ratio, we will be getting this value, 1.5. Substitute that here. Similarly, GS maximum is, this is the value, 2.9 dB. If you convert this into ratio, we will be having 1.94 dB, sorry, 1.94 ratio. If you take those two ratio, you will be having this GS. Substitute that in this equation. Here, S11 we know from the S matrix. So S11 is this, magnitude of S11 is this. So using that magnitude and GS value, we can calculate the center of the circle. So that we got here. Similarly, this radius we can obtain, that is equal to this. So using the center and radius, we can draw the circle. That is the input gain circle. Similarly, we have to do for output gain circle also. So here we need a 0 dB here. Using these two equations, you should calculate a center and radius. So here again GL we need. GL means this is GL equal to GL by GL maximum. GL should be in a ratio you should put. Okay, GL needed is 0 dB. But if you take a anti-log of this, you will be getting 1. Similarly, GL maximum. GL maximum, it is 0.73 dB. If you convert this into ratio, we will be getting 1.18. Okay, so GL 0 dB corresponds to 1. GL maximum 0.73 dB correspond to 1.18. Take a ratio of those two, we will be getting this value. Substitute that in this equation. Okay, we will be getting the center. This is the center, and this is the radius. See here. So okay, after getting this center and radius for both the circles, GS and GL circle, that is the gain we fixed. Okay, so these two should, now we have to draw the circles. So in the previous class, I was telling how to draw the GS and GL circles. So taking this center like here 0.62 and 95.8 degree. So from starting from here, you should move like this. Wherever there is a 98.5, you have to stop. Okay, 95.8 is somewhere here, because this is 90 degree. Here 94.8. So you should stop and draw a line from here to here. Okay, that we got, and you have to measure how many centimeters are there from center of the smooth chart to here. That approximately I got a 6 centimeter. I have written like this. Okay, and next over this line you should mark distance, this 0.62. 0.62 we did like this. Okay, 6 centimeters for one. If it is a 0.62, if you multiply 3.72 centimeter, that you should mark here. Okay, starting from here, this is a 3.7 centimeter. So this is the center of the circle. Now you take a radius equal to one, this 0.25. See, as we 0.245. So if it is 0.245, again multiplied by 6, 1.47. You take a, in the scale you take 1.47 and draw the circle like this. So this is a output gain circle, what we discussed in the, sorry, input gain circle. GS equal to 2 dB circle. You can choose any one value over this as a input. Okay. Similarly, we have drawn, see this, GL is GL constant GL circle. Center is this value, 58.8 degree, 0.34. So 58.8 we took from here. Here, this is a 58 because this is 50. 58 is around here. Okay, this is the line. And radius 0.34 you have to take. 58 as an angle. Next to 0.34. 0.34 means multiplied by 6. You will be getting this value. That is 2.4 centimeter. From here, 2.4 centimeter comes to here. So you put here. Okay. So again you draw the circle. Radius is this value. This is the radius. So take that and draw the 1. So we will be getting, this is the output gain circle. GL is equal to 0 dB circle. Okay. So this we are discussing in the previous class. Okay, now what we have to do, we have to design the impedance matching network. Okay, we have to design the impedance matching network. To design the impedance matching network, as we said, to get a gain of 2 dB, you can take any impedance over this circle, any one value over this circle for input impedance matching network. Similarly, you can take here. See here, you have to design an impedance matching network. Here, impedance matching network you should design here. Looking in this direction, you must set the input impedance ZS must be equal to one of the value over this circle. So I have taken this point. See here, this point. You can take this also, but it is difficult to move over the circle. You have to start from here. Okay, just anyone we can take, even you can take here also. But here, while designing impedance matching network, should be careful. So I have taken this point over the circle, this circle, okay, as a this point, as a ZS. See like this. This is the point I have chosen here at H. Okay, this point. So now using this point impedance, what we have to do? Looking in this direction. So looking in this direction, looking into this direction, the impedance needed is this value. This is the value I needed here. Okay, so at the input side 50 ohm is there here, 50 ohm is there. So what we have to do, start from here, okay, start from here, move on a constant conductance circle. See, starting from here you move over a constant conductance circle like this until you reach a resistance circle passing through this point. See, this is a point I have taken, this point. See, like I have taken this point. Okay, that is a point I have indicated here, this point here. You should see which resistance circle is passing through. See, this is the resistance circle passing through that point. Okay, now you start from 0 here, that is center of the circle. Move on constant conductance circle, that is G is equal to 1 circle. Actually G is equal to 1 circle is this. See, this is the G. First you have to move here, G is equal to 1 circle. Okay, so starting from center you move over a G is equal to 1 circle and stop wherever there is a circle, resistance circle, which passes through our point. See, this is a point which we were chosen. Through this, the resistance circle passing is this. You stop here. So start from here and stop here. Okay. And after from this point, you move over the resistance circle. See, like this. You move over resistance circle to reach this point. Okay, so you started from here and you moved on a constant conductance circle up to this point, and after this point G we moved over a constant resistance circle. So this is a constant resistance circle in the clockwise direction to reach this point. Okay, so this is a 50 ohm, actually 50 ohm here, this is 50 ohm here. See, in the circuit 50 ohm, you started here, then now what we did, we moved like this from here, okay, on a constant conductor circle in the clockwise direction. So that adds capacitor in shunt. See, like this, that adds capacitor in shunt like this. That value you can easily find, we already discussed that in the previous semester. See, like this, these are the equations I have given here like this. Okay, you have to find out a B. What is the B value moving from here on the conductance circle? B value you note down here. What is the B value? What is the B value here you note down? Now take a difference of those two. You will be getting the small b here. That you should put, and we will be getting the value of capacitor. What is the value of capacitor added here at 6 gigahertz? Because the problem given is at 6 gigahertz. So like that. Similarly, after reaching this point, what we did, we moved like this on the constant resistance circle. See, starting from here to here. Okay, that is moving on resistance circle in the clockwise direction, as inductor in series. See, like this. Okay, so we started from load input here, input circuit. Okay, so like this is a input here, this is input. Next to this we are adding capacitor here, capacitor you have to add. Now after that you are adding the inductor. See, this circuit here, this is our source, 50 ohm source. In the AWR tool you can do, this is a 50 ohm source here. Next to that we are adding a capacitor. Next this part, this is inductor in series, that is inductor in series here. Okay, so inductance, that value you can easily find, that is the X value, reactance. What is the reactance value? As you move from here to here, what is the change in the reactance? You find out. That reactance value substitute here, you will be getting this answer. Okay, L is equal to 1.3. So this is a input impedance matching network. This is a input impedance matching network. Okay, So like this. So we have to put input impedance matching network. This is a source here, 50 ohm source, but added capacitor and inductor. Now looking in this direction, see if you look this direction, looking in this direction, now impedance changed. What is the impedance value now? That is equal to this value. Okay, so like that, this is a impedance matching now, impedance matching network at the input port. See this, it gives a, if you do like this, now looking this direction, impedance is equal to this value, that provides a gain is equal to 2 dB, that provides gain is equal to 2 dB. So that is the input side, designing a impedance matching network. Similarly, you can do for output matching network also, sorry, output also. See this we did. Okay, you moved like this and we moved like this, we got this network. So that we kept here input side. This provides a gain of 2 dB. Okay, similarly, we should do for output side also. See like this, you should add output matching network. This is the matching network what we added. See like this. Okay, without this matching network, we do not get a required gain. Okay, 0 dB we want exactly 0 dB. So for that, you even it is a 0 dB, do not think like the matching is not needed. You should that is considering as a 0 dB, you should design the matching network. Okay, this is a output matching network. To design this, what we have to do, you should go to output gain circle. See, this is the one what we have drawn. This is the output gain circle, that is 0 dB. Okay, so this circle, what I did is I took one value over this. See, this is a circle, you can take any value. I have taken this value. Okay, that I marked here. See, this is the point I have taken here. So now we have to design the matching network for this point. So what we needed is looking in this direction. See, looking this direction, uh, after the addition of these two, our value must be equal to this, impedance must be equal to this. Okay, so without these two, capacitor and inductor, it is 50 ohm, the port impedance 50 ohm. Without, if you do not insert this, what is the one, it is a input is a 50 ohm, that is the ZL here. In this case, it is equal to 50 ohm, but we should change it to this value. Okay, to get a 0 dB gain. So what we have to do, you should insert this and this yeah, impedance matching components. Okay, by adding these two, if you look after addition of these two, you will observe, if you look in this direction, the impedance is equal to this value. Okay, so to find the values of this inductor and capacitor, have to proceed in the similar way. Start from the center here, start from the center of the Smith chart. Okay, that is like this. See, you should start from here, impedance is a 50 ohm, you should add this and this component first, this one and next to this one. See like that, you start from here and you see which circle is passing through this point. You see here, this is a point, through this some conductance circle is passing like this. So conductance circle passing through this point, and it is intersecting a resistance circle here. R is equal to one circle. You see, you take a circle passing through this point, which intersect with the R is equal to one circle. See, this is R is equal to one circle. Okay, so here start from here, move on a resistance circle. R is equal to one circle. From here, center of the Smith chart, move in the clockwise, anti-clockwise direction over R is equal to one circle in the anti-clockwise direction. R is equal to resistance circle in the anti-clockwise direction. Okay, so and stop here, where you have to stop, you are moving on R is equal to one circle, resistance circle, and you should stop where this R is equal to one circle intersect with the circle passing through this point. You see, this is a line, this is a one, this is the one, it is like this. So that circle is here, it is going like this, it is like this here. So you should move over this R is equal to one circle and you stop here wherever R is equal to one circle intersect the conductance circle. This is the one conductance circle passing through this point, so you stop here. and from here you move over that conductance circle to reach this point. Okay, so starting from here we are doing, so if you are moving on a resistance circle, constant resistance circle in the anti-clockwise direction, that adds capacitor in series. So that is capacitor in series, you see. Starting from load we are moving, this is a load 50 ohm load. Okay, next to that you should add this, that is capacitor in this series. Next, from here we are moving on constant conductance circle. You see, this is a constant conductance circle, some conductance circle is passing. Okay, and so here what we are doing, from this point we are moving like this. Okay, to reach this point on the conductance circle. So that conductance circle in the anti-clockwise direction again, conductance circle in the anti-clockwise direction adds inductor in parallel, still a shunt. This is the one. So inductor in shunt, this from here to here. So this you can easily calculate. That is what is the B added. Here you need the value of B. What is the B here? Take a difference. You calculate the B. From that you calculate the inductor. You will be getting 2.21 Henry for this. Similarly, here to here, this capacitor. Okay, that is, you should note down the reactance on the reactance circle means it is, so on the resistance circle means reactance. You should note down. Okay, just to remember previous, I think I have given many so assignments and all on this. Okay, you have to remember, go through my videos, previous semester videos. It is also in third unit of your discourse also. Okay, that I will do later because it is already done in the class many times. That's why I am not giving more concentration on that unit, third unit. Okay, just you remember what we did in the earlier course. Okay, so this is a resistance capacitor in series. So you can calculate the value of X. From that you calculate this capacitor. Okay, see like this. So this is output matching network. See like this. This is the output matching network. So this is input matching network and output matching. This output matching network gives the 0 dB, and this input matching network gives the 2 dB. This gives the 13 dB, 13.43. So totally we will be getting the 15 dB for this amplifier. This gives a amplified signal. No, it is the 15 dB gain. Gain is equal to 15 dB. Okay, so like it is looking very simple circuit only like this, but the design take a very complicated, as we observed here. Okay, so these things are needed at RF and microwave. It is not a easy task. We have to consider all these things while designing the amplifier. Okay, are you audible? Hello,
Yes, ma'am.
Amruta is there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, next Sushma. Sushma is there? Nikita, hello. Audible? Hello. Okay, so Karthik is there? Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Audible, ma'am.
Audible. Okay, so here this is the way of designing the amplifier by for a given this gain, given gain. This is a procedure what we have to do, and finally we have to design a, so constant gain circles like this we have to design based on the requirement, gain requirement. We should draw the circles like this. Okay, output gain circle and a input gain circle, and you have to take a one of the value over that to design the impedance matching network. Okay, see like this we have taken this value for input. We have input impedance, we have taken this value. Output impedance, we have taken this value, and we designed input network and output matching network like this. Okay, so after designing that, you can implement like this. This is a overall amplifier, which has a matching networks at the input side and the output side. So this is a L matching network. What we are discussing, L matching networks. Similarly, you can use a stub also, single stub matching network also you can use. Okay, but I am not included. Finally, if time is there, we can discuss that. So this is a way of designing a matching network, input matching and output matching network. Okay, um, so see here, as I discussed in this starting of the problem, unilateral case. So this is a, even it is not a zero. We were using a unilateral unilateral design equations because the limit is less than this limits, less than the upper and lower limits, GT by GTU maximum. So this is called as unilateral figure of merit. U unilateral figure of merit that is calculated using this equation. Okay, so now we will see a little more, few more problems on that unilateral figure of merit. So unilateral case means S21 is equal to S12 equal to 0. Okay, so unilateral figure of merit. Okay, this actually is it defined like this. So sometimes in the examination they may ask the question, discuss the unilateral figure of merit and the importance of a unilateral figure of merit. Okay, sometimes they may ask the question like this, discuss the importance of unilateral figure of merit in amplifier design. Okay, at that time you should be you should explain this. Okay, because this unilateral figure of merit we are using to calculate the error limit, so that GT by GTO maximum should be within the specified value, then only we can use a unilateral design equations. That's why it is very important. Okay, so that's why here in the amplifier design, here is a, all two port models are bilateral, so both the forward and reverse signal flow must be considered. Bilateral means if S12 is equal to S21, if the signal flow in the reverse direction is much smaller than the flow in the forward direction, then it's possible to make the simplification that the reverse flow is zero. Okay, if it is a very low value, S12 is very low value, we may consider that as a zero. Okay, the unilateral figure of merit U is a quick calculation that can be used to determine where this simplification can be made without significantly affecting the accuracy of the model. See, even it is not a unilateral, but if that error limit is lesser bounded by that maximum and upper and lower limits, you can apply the unilateral design equations. It significantly reduces the calculation time and all, and accuracy also not very deviated from the what we are expecting. That's why a transistor is said to be unilateral if the signal flow bonded back from the output to the source is equal to 0. But if it is not the case, then we have to go for this. Okay. If the unilateral assumption is made, the equation for gain becomes very simple, as we know. Okay, but in most of the cases, S21, sorry, this is S12. This is not S21. S12, sorry, again I have copied us in S12. This is S12, S12, not equal to 0. Okay, thus, if one still want to use the unilateral assumption and the simplified unilateral gain equations for the amplifier design, one need to determine the error involved in the design. Okay, this occurs if the reverse transmission coefficient, that is S12, or the reverse transmission gain S12 is equal to 0. Okay, in order to determine how close to ideal unilateral network, the unilateral figure of merit has been considered. Okay, this is the unilateral figure of merit is defined like this, as I already stated here. Okay, see, even you consider a unilateral case, even it is not a S12 is not equal to 0, how much error involves? That you can decide by using this unilateral figure of merit. Okay, so that is calculated using this equation. It depends on the S parameters of the active device, S12, S21, S11, and S22. Okay, this is the equation. See, look, as I already given this equation, in terms of decibels, you have to calculate this. Here, this is called as error limit. Error limit. So we will see one example here. Here, the transistor. There are two transistors are given here. Transistor A and transistor B. There are two transistors are there. Transistor A and transistor B have the scattering matrix given below. Okay, so transistor A has this S matrix. Transistor B has this S matrix. Okay. Compare the unilateral figure of these two transistors. Unilateral figure of merit. Okay, calculate the unilateral figure of merit for this transistor and this transistor, and compare the two. That is a question here. Okay, so compare the two means just you take calculate unilateral figure of merit for this u. What is the u? Using all these parameters, you calculate u for transistor A. Transistor, if you do that, you will be getting this value 0.00551. If you use this, it is equal to this. For a transistor B, U for transistor A is this, U for transistor B is this. Next, you calculate the error in ratio. This is in ratio. Okay, this is in ratio. In decibel is this. See here, this is the one. Transistor B has this one. See, GT by GTU is lesser than this value. You can use a unilateral figure of merit. You can use a unilateral design equations. But second transistor, you see here, what is the condition required here is it should be less than 0.023 dB. GT by GTU ratio must be less than this 0.02 dB. Then only you can use the unilateral design equations. But for the second case, it is zero point 0.9 dB. This is 0.02 dB. This is 0.9 dB, approximately 1 dB. Even GT by GTU maxima, this ratio is within 1 dB, you can use, but you cannot do that for this transistor. It should be lesser than this. This ratio should be lesser than that. This is given in the problem. GT they will be provided in the GTU, and this is GTU maximum will be provided in the problem. Okay, sorry, in the calculation you can do. Okay, so you have to calculate like this. If this ratio is lesser than this, so you can use unilateral design equations for the transistors. Okay. Similarly, this is one more problem. The problem is compute the highest and lowest gains by using the unilateral assumption for for a uh, transistor BFP640 bipolar device. Okay. Measured S parameters at 900 megahertz are given as. So here a transistor is there. This is the one, and it has a S parameters at 900 megahertz. Compute the highest and lowest gains. Okay, that is a question by using unilateral assumption. Okay, so the question is that and this is the problem S matrix of device is given. Okay, the basic 50 ohm transducer, you assume the system is 50 ohm system. Okay, so first you calculate a G naught in dB. G naught in dB means calculate this. 20 is given. G naught in dB you calculate. You will be getting 26.3 dB G naught. And the GS maximum you calculate. What is the GS maximum? This is a 0.76 dB. GL maximum 1.5 dB. Okay, what is the maximum gain you can get from this one? Highest gain. What is the highest gain you can get? Is 28.56 dB from the amplifier. If you use this amplifier for the design, what is the maximum gain you can get? That is addition of GS maximum 0.76 dB, GL maximum is 1.5 dB. You add, okay, you will be getting, this is a maximum value, 28.56 dB you can get. Minimum is 26.3 dB, assuming this is 0 dB and this is 0 dB. Minimum gain you can get is a 26.3 dB. Okay, see, like that you can do the calculation here, and you can find your unilateral figure of merit for this. So that's the question itself is this: compute the highest and lowest gains. Okay, how to compute? Assuming unilateral assumption, it is not unilateral. See, S12 equal to this, S12 equal to this. Okay, even though it is lesser, what we did, we used GS maximum is this. See, GS max, actually this is a for by unilateral condition, but it is not unilateral. Okay, but what problem, in the problem they stated, assume it is a unilateral, that's why we are applying this. Take this equation, calculate GS maximum, that is here 0.76 dB. GL maximum is this, using this equation. Okay, so what is the maximum output we can get? Addition of these three in decibel: GS maximum, G naught and GL maximum. G naught in dB you got, this is 26, GL maximum 1.5, and this is 1, or the 3. So maximum highest gain you can get is 28.56, and lowest is, assuming this is 0 dB and this is 0 dB. What is the left here? What is G naught? That is the lowest, 26.3. This will be there, even this is 0 and this is 0, but you can have this 26.3 dB. So that is the lowest, 26.3 dB you can get from the one. Okay, so like this you can, this is a problem for this transistor. Unilateral figure of merit you can calculate, it is 0.22, 0.22. In decibels it is 2.16 dB, this upper limit and lower limit. See here, negative error 1 minus 1.76 dB, and like this is the limits, upper and lower limit, upper limit and lower limit. Lower limit is this minus 1.73 dB, upper limit is 2.16 dB. Okay, that you can put here, upper and lower limits. Okay, so that is for this problem, this particular problem you can do that, or calculation whatever is there. Unilateral figure of merit you can calculate, and you can calculate the maximum error range. Maximum error range means this is a 2.6 dB higher value. It should be GTU by GT by GTU must be less than this value and greater than this value. Okay, that is the error limit. Okay, similarly, this is one more problem. See the input and output matching networks are designed to produce. Okay, this is a problem. I already completed this. This I have taken. Already I discussed this problem, I think, previous. Okay, so this is about the this unilateral figure of merit. So sometimes that unilateral figure of merit, the question will be there. What is the significance of unilateral figure of merit? You go through this explanation, okay, and calculation of that unilateral. This question usually asks for 6 marks, or sometimes 7 marks, or with the problem. See, like error limit. Find the error limit. Okay, find the unilateral figure and the error limiter. The question may be like that. And what is the significance of the figure of merit, unilateral figure of merit? Then what you have to do, you should explain this for the significance. Then you calculate this unilateral figure of merit. You should calculate using this, because all are magnitude, you can easily do that. Okay, just a multiplication. Next, what you have to do after that, you should do this. See this 1 by 1 plus u square, and 1 by this gt is given in the problem. What is the GT is needed, GT needed, they will be provided. You should calculate GTU maximum. Okay, that I have given you. See, what is that GTU maximum? Here itself I have given. Here, GTU maximum, GS maximum, G naught, G2, GS maximum, G naught, and GL. You calculate whatever the value here. In ratio is this. This is in dB. Okay, so that you put here in this equation. Okay, this equation, this is GT. Problem will be specified in the problem, they will specify GTU maximum. You calculate GS maximum plus GL maximum plus G naught, that gives the GTU, this value. Next, you calculate this ratio, 1 minus u square. Okay, similarly 1 plus u square. It is in ratio, you should convert that into dB. If they ask in dB, you should do that. Usually you should put it in the dB. Okay, so that is unilateral figure of merit. Okay, so this is about unilateral figure of merit and this amplifier constant gain circles. How to choose the gain and how to draw the circles, constant gain circle and the Smith chart, and how to design the matching network. Okay, this is about a design. I have not like L matching network. I not discussed much because it's already studied. Okay, you should go through that. If you those who forgotten, please go through that. Okay, well, to do the problem, you should remember. Okay, so this is about this amplifier design. Okay, so in the next class, we will discuss one more thing is there. Okay, that is called stability of the amplifier. That we will discuss in the next class. Okay, we will discuss in the next class, continue the next class.